But here's the deal, G. I agree with everything that both of you guys are saying, but here's the deal. What year is this for Franklin Hack?
5, 6,
14. 5? 14 was his first year.
So, golly, he's sitting on 8. He's sitting this year 8, right? If my math is right.
7, 8.
I mean, hey, year 8 in. If you're not in college football, man, if you can't identify a quarterback every year and develop those guys to where you don't put yourself in a position where you get your starter hurt and then your backup goes in there and looks like he's never played football before other than being a good athlete. And your offensive line doesn't have that dog in them across the board. To me, it's one of them deals like at that point in time, we can point, well, the O-line coach or, well, there's transfers or, well, so-and-so got hurt. But developing quarterbacks and having a mean-ass offensive line, that goes through a depth chart, man. In my opinion. Like if I got I'm going to tell you, I'll speak from my perspective.
If you're a GM, if you're a head coach, that's how you're building your team.
Hey, heck, if I was James Franklin right now and my starting quarterback went down against Iowa and I trot a kid out there that looks like a deer in headlights when he takes a snap.
Bad.
Yeah. That ain't on a kid. That's on me, man.
Yeah,
you can recruit as many quarterbacks as you want a year. And when you got that Nittany Lion flag flying outside, you roll out the red carpet. You got the upper hand. There is no reason, absolutely no reason to not be able to develop too deep on the quarterback quarterback depth chart guys you can depend on.
But I got to talk to you, Clint, and people at home. Penn State had that guy. They groomed him, raised him. They found him in high school. They got him up there. His name is Will Levis. In the offseason, now that the portal, you can move for any reason. He was happy at Penn State. They loved him at Penn State. Kentucky reached out. Come down and lead us. You want a ball in the Big Ten? Clifford is our guy. I'm 2 here. I can be 1 over there. That's not on Penn State. That's just how the market is moving. So in the spring, if your guy hops up, or the summer, and he says, you know what? I can't miss on this SEC opportunity. I can lead now, or I can keep being the number 2 guy here. Coach, I'm riding. Good luck. And out he goes. That was my number 2. They had him for 3 years. They had Clifford. They had a succession plan, and the market took their 2. If you go to any team in the country and yank their 2 off the team and throw him in as a starter someplace else, a lot of people are going to be in the same hole Penn State is right now.
Here's the thing, though, George. Penn State has had 3 offensive coordinators. Clifford's been through three or four offensive coordinators since he's been there.
That's true.
So to your point, I understand the market, right? If Clifford goes in the summer, now you got all training camp. You had all season. You had a bye week. And I get it. I've been in the situation. I understand who gets the reps and how they get it. But you got however many months that is up until this point to get a guy ready.
Thank you.
And they didn't do it. But I will give the excuse to saying that there has been so much turnover, right? So now you got a new guy calling plays from last year. You're getting your starter all the reps you can get because he's got to get familiarity with him. And there's an issue there with all that. So the market didn't help it. And I think also the amount of turnover that happened within this coaching staff has not helped it. And that was just the perfect storm, man. That was the perfect storm that screwed everything up.
This is my thing though. You cannot, to your point, you cannot have a guy go through spring, summer, 100%. And fall camp and go, I just don't know if he has it in him. You got to be able to know if to kick and throw the ball. Right. Development aside, to Clint's point, executing the offense is one thing. Being able to throw is a whole other thing.
Yeah,
and
but look,
if I'm sitting here looking at my guy going, man, my guy can't even hit a 5-yard hitch route without struggle busting. My eyes are going somewhere else and going, hey, who's the number 2 that we can pick up? Oh yeah, Greg May Chevrolet up here in Pennsylvania. How about you throw a couple dollars to this backup QB, get him in this system, and then that way I know who I've got taken care of, because what we have seen is that if you do not have a quarterback, you do not have a team. And we already know what has happened in this transfer portal. If you don't get it done in week 1 and week 2, you're out. I got to go somewhere else. Yep. That's just what you do not have the luxury anymore, or the luxury anymore of struggling. That ain't happening anymore.
But let's be honest. Hack, Clint, Bryce, as starters in the quarterback room, you could look around the room and say, damn, I like the number 3 guy. You cool. We gonna ride wings later. But you know you've had guys in the room that when they finally get that at bat, they squeeze that shit down to sawdust. They don't know what they're doing out there. Sometimes it's on the man. Yes, we're holding the system accountable. We're holding the program accountable. We're holding the staff accountable. But if a guy goes down there and pisses straight down his leg, you've been in practice. We have invested meetings in you. You got to step forward. You got to come on. You got to come on.
I got a question for you, G. I got a question for you, G. You've lived in the quarterback space, a well-respected life in the quarterback space. If I gave you 4 years to recruit America with a top 10 program on your chest, you can walk in anywhere you want, and you're down to the final 2 with damn near any quarterback you want to recruit. You gonna tell me in 4 years you can't be too deep that can go out there and do better than you saw that backup do against Iowa a couple weeks ago? If I'm wrong, back me up. I'm good, but you tell me. I can do better next year.
So, all right, respectfully, you're wrong, but not because you're wrong, but it's because the mentality of today's kids, and now I sound like some kind of old man, is different.
It is.
So, Clint, if I go out, I have a warlord as my starter. I have an up-and-coming alpha as my 2, and I come to your neighborhood and get the best kid in your city, and I say, listen, you got a scholarship to Penn State. He looks in my quarterback room and says, ain't no easy route to getting there. Those dudes are 1 and 2 years older than me. That means I got to wait to get my opportunity. I ain't coming there. So you're not, and so any other situation, if my 2 quarterbacks aren't sitting in that room, I get that guy, no problem. But I'm not gonna skip over the 2 dudes I have in the building. So then I gotta go down a tier. Who else wants to come in here and compete?
What did Oregon do? What did Oregon do?
In terms of what?
Going to get a quarterback.
Oh, they hopped.
They went East Coast. They went. That's what I'm saying that you do now because of the environment that you're in and what you're talking about. My eyes are not only downstairs in high school. I'm scoping 100%. I'm scoping every
other
year.
teams.
Yeah.
Other teams.
But guys, we're talking. And I know we got to move on, George. But I mean, I understand the dynamic of the portal, and I understand the dynamic of young kids right now, and I understand that if we're talking about like a school that's recruiting 5-star on top of 5-star on top of 5-star on top of 5-star, and there's a traffic jam at the top. All I'm saying is there's no excuse for the extreme of what is going on at Penn State. Does it happen? Sure. But if you lose one guy to the portal, should the gap between your starter and your second string be a guy that can't function in a basic game plan versus an older player that gives you a chance to win a national championship? Should the gap be that big? I mean, to me, I feel very confident that I could close that gap is all I'm saying from a development standpoint.
And before we jump, Clint, to your point on the merit of the question, you're right. But if you earned your way to Penn State as a scholarship player and you're in here now and you made every meeting, you made every lifting session, you took every piece of coaching you could possibly get, and you've been here now. That kid's not a true freshman. He's like a sophomore, I think, right, Hack? You've been there now at least 2 years. You can get around campus. You can go in an O-line meeting and know what they're talking about. You know what your quarterback coach expects. And you're supposed to come to games with the today could be my moment mentality. Don't come there and chop it up on the sideline and yuck it up and looking up in the stands because it's Iowa. Keep your mind ready. And when they do call your number, at a minimum, you should be able to get us out of the huddle, off the line of scrimmage. We don't need you can't run what Clifford does, but you got to at least get us down the runway. So some of that has to sit with the man himself. Some of that's got to sit with the man himself. So this is a awkward timeout, but we got to call this timeout. We're going to move from performing and having balls when you're out there to keeping them clean and manscaped. We're just going to just jump to it. Dagan, I got you.
That's a great jump. That's a great jump. There you go. So, ISO, play one.
And Clint, Hack, and Bryce, be ready because I'm dishing on this. Support for today's episode of After Dark College Football Field of 12 comes from Manscaped, the world leader in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped has just launched their 4th-generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.10 Hackenberg. It's a sleek, well-designed, and precision-engineered trimmer, and I got to tell you, I was blown away by the performance. The way Manscaped engineered the ultimate growing and body trimmer is simple. They focused on intelligent functionality and providing the comfortable grooming experience. The Lawnmower 4.0 Hackenberg was developed with the trademark skin-safe technology, which includes a cutting-edge ceramic blade that reduces snags and nicks. Right, Bryce? You need to be confident in any tool you use on the old family jewels. Manscaped, as held up there by Clint, features the Lawnmower 4.0, also has a 4000K LED spotlight. So you see what the hell you're doing.
Yep.
An attachment that allows you to change the length of your trim and a wireless charger. Most importantly, you want to make sure you're not using the same trimmer on your nuts as your face. That's just nasty.
Can't do that.
So head on over to manscaped.com where you'll get 20% off, free shipping with the codes. I'm going to give you those codes right now. Field of 12 After Dark. Put in 20 dark, all caps, for your 20% off and free shipping. So Manscaped, handle your business. As a future user of Lawnmower 4.10, trust me, I will come back and tell you that my balls feel great. Thank you.